The second motion that I have to bring forward is that we reappoint our auditor for next year, J.G. Short, for the 2019.
The name has changed slightly. So it's CPA and associates.
It's the name has changed. It's the same person, but it's changed to CPA and Associates.
Yeah.
For the 2019 calendar
18.
or 18. Can I have somebody? I don't know what day I'm on. I'm just happy I'm here. Can I have somebody second that, please? What's your name? Sarah Hassan. Hassan. Sarah Hassan. All in favor, please? Yes. Any objections? Something funny, Angela?
Well, you were asking him to be all in favor, but that's okay.
Okay. Apparently I didn't make it sound like a choice. If you are in favor, raise your hand. Any objections? Strong abstentions? Thank you. Thank you? Okay. Listen, I have to take 2 seconds. That's passed as well. Can I take 2 seconds and just thank people? Okay. I am leaving. It is hard for everybody around me, I know. But in particular, I have to thank the leadership of Keith Adamson and Joan Mackenzie Davies. Keith, you're an impeccable leader. You live with authenticity. Everything you've done in the last 4 years has been incredibly courageous, and I will miss our fireside chats, absolutely. Just because we both live in Mississauga doesn't mean we have to see each other. The other piece is Joan Mackenzie Davies, and when you see all of these things up on this list, what I've learned about Joan is that she takes social work personally. It's not a job. She takes it personally. And for the things that we've accomplished here, the things that Joan has helped us to accomplish here, she has stuck her neck out at the risk of public failure. And anybody in leadership knows that public failure is not something that we willingly sign up for. And so I really deeply have to thank you for that. This exterior veneer of calm isn't always there, because there's been times with this province where it's been a straight up fight to get what we know that we have deserved. And so I thank both of you for that. Very last thing I need to do is, I think if anybody knew what was happening on our board, they would fight to get on it. Seriously. We laugh, we fight like cats and dogs. No? It's not hostile, but the conversations have always been courageous, well flushed out, and we make a decision, we move together. And in the time that I've spent on this board, it has reminded me that leadership is not a fun time activity only. Leadership begins when things are difficult, unknown, and undefined. And that has been the reality that we've lived on this board for the last 6 years that I've been on it. The board and association is often, our beginning point has often been at a crossroads. You talk about the Psychotherapy Act, you talk about exclusions. We've often started at the crossroads, but we've made commitments, we've paid the price, and ultimately we have created together. So thank you very, very much, and I'll really miss all of you. My audited haiku poetry is available on Amazon.
He really is like that at board meetings. It's not, this is not a show. Talking about authenticity, that was the real Rashad Vahid. We're gonna miss you too, Rashad, and we'll address that later on. I'm moved though. I'm moved. You got me. Are there any questions with respect to the executive director's reports? Oh, executive officers' reports.
Yeah, there's nobody.
I have a random question. Where it says operating surplus, what are the ideas for that?
Operating surplus. What are the ideas for?
It goes to the board.
So, well, the idea, you mean ideas with respect to what we do with it? So that decision usually goes to the board. And what we've tried to do under Rashad's very good leadership is any of the surplus money that we have, we try to divert it towards any of the 4 strategic priorities that we have within the organization, right? So having those strategic priorities has really helped us focus on what's important. We tend not to get sidetracked by what we call the red herrings, but we focus on what we have to accomplish, and any surplus helps us accomplish it. Okay? Any other questions? If not, I'll ask to a motion, or is it to approve, the reports of the executive officers as presented. Name, Nelly Candy, and seconded by Samantha Robinson. All in favor? Abstentions? Nays? Thank you. I also just want to thank, before we move on, Joan Mackenzie Davis for her leadership as well. It is not easy to keep all the balls in the air. And I remember coming on the board 4 years ago, and we had literally balls in the air. And that was partially why we decided to move more strategically as well, to focus on certain things and recognize that there are things that we will always do with respect to operations, but we had to know what was important enough to focus on and what was important to do just as a way that, in terms of operational activities that we do all the time. I want to thank Joan for keeping all those balls up in the air this year again, and the staff as well. We could not do, I am telling you, we have an amazing staff at head office. And without their dedication and commitment, nothing will get done, literally. I also want to thank the executive members on the board. We have spent a lot of time together. You'd be surprised to know that we actually I probably saw them more than I saw my mom this year. I did. And they are an amazing group of leaders who are committed to the profession of social work and who are courageous leaders as well. And I want to thank you for your time, energy, and commitment. We'll now move forward with special OASW projects. And so our staff are going to come and talk to us about the amazing work that they're leading. The first is going to be on marketing the profession, and that's with Jasmine Ferreira. Welcome, Jasmine. Oh, sorry.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Great. So my name is Jasmine Ferreira. I am the Manager of Communications and Public Relations at OASW. I'm also a social worker, and it's been really, really incredible the past year to work with this team and this board, and I would echo that. I've never had so much fun at board meetings, so if you're a member and you're even close to considering, please get involved. So I'm just going to give a quick introduction. This is one of 4 videos that we have been working on. So 2 of them were shared with membership in the fall, and they were both focused on youth mental health in 2 different contexts. This video is focused on hospital discharge planning, and the 4th one that you should have in the next 2 weeks, we are just waiting for the final edits to come through, is on relationship issues, more in the context of private practice. So we're hoping these 4 really set us up to show the diversity in what we do as social workers, and communicate that to the public and move that needle so that they understand why social work is important. That's it.
Accident. He couldn't walk. There were feeding tubes, IVs. She was overwhelmed. but she also didn't want to turn her home into a medical site. And I told her it's going to take some time, but you're not alone. And I helped her to connect with counseling for her and the family, a personal support worker who was able to offer respite and relief. And the kids, they had their dad back. I am a social worker. I helped turn caregiver issues into answers.
So I encourage you, these are on our YouTube sites, to use these, not necessarily on your own social media, but in advocacy, in your work placements, share these with your colleagues. I also want to emphasize, so these 4 videos are based on real stories from members, and actually 2 of the members are in the videos as the social workers. Obviously things were anonymized for the clients, but I think it's really important that these are real social work stories that we're sharing, and so I encourage you to use these. And if you have any questions afterwards, I'm happy to talk social work.
I'll now ask Vanessa Rankin to come up to speak about the salaries and job satisfaction survey that we ran this year.
Thank you. Oh gosh. Let's see how this works. Okay, can everybody hear me okay?
Put it up a
little higher? Sure. How's that? Better, okay. Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa Rankin. I'm the Manager of Advocacy, Research and Education with OASW, and I'm so glad to be here in this role for my first AGM. I'm going to chat with you briefly about some of the information you're seeing on the screen. But first I wanted to start by thanking everyone who participated in our job satisfaction and salary survey or helped in distributing that. We had an excellent response rate. Over 2,000 social workers responded to our survey. When you compare that against the number of social workers in the province, it is a very strong response rate. So what this has resulted in is rich data about the profession, which will be shared with our members first as a priority in early summer, and other provincial stakeholders following that. So we're hoping to share this with employers, schools of social work, provincial level counterparts, and government. So the information that we gathered sets an important foundation of information about the profession in the province, which allows us to benchmark changes and trends over time. So now we have that data, and our goal is to replicate this survey over the next number of years so we can start to track what's occurring in our profession, and we can have that valuable information. So OASW actually wants to continue to tell this story. We want to talk about the profession. We want to educate stakeholders and the public about what we do. We really want to highlight the value that social workers bring to the work they do. And through this type of research, it's our hope to do that moving ahead. So we want to invite everyone here to be part of that storytelling with us over the next number of years. We can't do this research without your support and help. And I'd like you to know that that's where we're moving to. So you'll probably see requests come through every so often to fill out a survey. But we really appreciate your support in doing that so that we can have this valuable information. So I'll just share a little bit about what we got back in terms of our survey data. One of the things we looked at was workload analysis for social workers. This is a really big component of our jobs. And it's also a major factor in the retention of social workers. And this has to relate to that manageability of workload. So close to half of the social workers who responded in our survey, so that's 47%, reported their current workload is heavy but manageable, while 1/3, so just over 33%, described their workload as being overwhelming. So this really caught our eye at the provincial office. And what this does for us is it opens up spaces for advocacy. It gives us the information we need to drive advocacy forward with employers and funders and government. So we thought this might be a helpful statistic to share with everyone. This is just a taste of what's to come. So we've got some really rich data to share. One just component about this particular question is that participants could choose one or more words to describe their current workload. So for example, it being unpredictable and overwhelming. So sometimes that's the case as well. So we've got a bit of a picture about what's going on for folks in the field. So it was my hope in just sharing a little taste with you. We will have this report out in print in early summer. There were little green sheets that you may have already picked up and filled out. If you'd like an exclusive print copy mailed to you as a member, please ensure you fill out one of those sheets. I'd be happy to send one your way. And I think that that's it about the survey for now. More to come.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Such important work, very important work. The marketing campaign and the survey. Thank you for your leadership, both of you, and with respect to that work. We will now go to approval of acts and deeds of the Board of Directors during the 2016-2017 term. Can I have a motion to approve the acts and deeds of the Board of Directors during the 2017-2018? Boy, Rashad, I'm making your mistakes now. During the 2017-2018 term as reported. Just a motion. Steve? Seconded by? Ellie, thank you. All in favor? Abstentions? Nays? Thank you. I'll now ask Ellen Sue Mesmer to come up for special recognition.
You stay.
Oh, I stay.
You
Okay.
stay.
Okay.
Can we share this?
You want to share it?
Yeah.
Okay. Reunited and it feels. A lot of you wouldn't know that song, maybe.
Were you gonna do that?
So, special recognition. You guys have to understand that we could not do anything without the dedication of staff at central office. And we would be remiss to not tell you, and I want you guys to give this person the most incredible applause, because the career milestone is a big one for us. Rita Masherin. I know she hates public acknowledgement, but I'm going to give it to her anyway. Has been with OASW for 30 years. That's 30 years of advocacy, 30 years of keeping the balls all up in the air. And you'll see, every time we have to do something or say something, we usually do like this. Rita, is that what I'm supposed to say? What kind of treasurer president are we when we look at Rita? Would you give us permission? But that's Rita. Rita is the glue. And I do not want to underscore how important she's been, not just to the operations, but to the strategic implementation of many of the activities of the association. Thank you, Rita. I'll now ask Rashad Vahid to come up, please. Stand over there. Rashad has been treasurer for the last 4 years, and we came on the board together, and I can't tell you how amazing it has been to work with Rashad to move many of the agenda items for the association forward. I think it's fairly clear to say that Rashad brought a sense of humor to the work, and he will be sorely missed on the board. Not only was Rashad skilled in breaking tension when the board discussed hot topics, which brought everyone back to their senses. So we'd be like talking everybody's heated debate, and Rashad will say something like he did today in his presentation. We all look at him, laugh, and then get back to, okay, not that bad. Let's just talk about what we need to talk about. He went beyond clowning as well. Actually, he knew how to manage the association's financial affairs pretty good. When the association decided to implement the strategic map as a tool to support board and operational imperatives 4 years ago, Rashad was key in helping us understand that how we spent the money had to be aligned with strategy. Much of what was achieved with respect to outcomes over the last 4 years was due to his solid financial guidance and advice. Rashad was also a true leader, a mentor, providing leaderful encouragement to board members when necessary, and even more practically helping us learn more about how to read a financial statement. Not that we didn't know how, but they were complex. He modified the format of the statement so that the information was accessible to the provincial board members in a way that was never presented before. Rashad also engaged with the treasurers of the local branches in supporting the first ever treasurer workshop to truly align and support understanding of financial management principles at the local level and how these principles align with the organization's financial health and sustainability. Branch treasurers commented that this workshop was one like they'd never seen before, said the leadership was new and innovative, and frankly was at a level of support that they had never seen before in the association. He has left an indelible example of how to model leadership and positively influence others to become leaders in their own right. Rashad, thank you for your commitment to the board, your enthusiasm, your jokes, and your commitment to the profession of social work. We are lucky to have had you, and please accept this token of our appreciation. Take a picture.
Selfie?
No selfie.
Oh, selfie. Is there a regulation on social media that we need to?
Just a smile.
No.
Keith, would you please stay here?
Oh, okay.
Well, now we're going to do a little recognition of Keith, but I have to admit, it's not as long.
This is how I should look, right?
Yeah. Keith? I don't, thank you. I don't have such a long written speech, but I cannot tell you what an absolute pleasure it has been. Such a delight working with you as our leader, as our president. I think everybody knows who's ever encountered Keith, whether individually, as a group like today, the kind of inspirational leader he is. And he has brought a motivation, a passion, a vision to the board and to our association that is incomparable, really. And we've had lots of fun. He brings tremendous humor, but also intelligence, concern, commitment, dedication, and an understanding of where this profession needs to go. So we've accomplished a lot together. Keith has also been an incredibly supportive colleague in really helping us all do our jobs, but also not really interfering too much, which has been very appreciated. So as a thank you from the board and the association, we have a gift for you, and I just wanted to tell the members what it is. It's a piece of glass created by a Canadian glass artist, Becky Lazan, and it's inspired by the urban landscape and its juxtaposition with the natural world, which I thought was a lovely way of saying thank you. Thank you. Keith, before you go, you have one more act to perform as president, and would you please adjourn this meeting?
Meeting adjourned.
Okay, and now it's my pleasure. Oh, a picture?